Testing the audio.
Um,
Yep, I think we are live. So you're good.
Excellent. Thanks, mate. So I just had a quick update of the agenda before we went and had the meeting today. The first item on the agenda was the Constantinople Go Live. I haven't had any other feedback from the cores or anything like that. I saw Martin put out a little message just via Twitter,
Testing the
just saying,
audio.
guys, there's a couple of people
Yep, I
still
think we are
running
live.
on the
So
old
you're good.
chain. Please jump over onto the new chain. But excellent, Constantinople seems to be so I just a had a success. quick update of the agenda. Is
Mm-hmm.
there anything else from what people have heard? Excellent. So we'll take that as a success. Moving on to the Prog Power audit. Hudson's not here, so we'll give a little bit of an update just with regards to the subcommittee and where that's at the moment. We're still in the process of trying to identify a group to do the full audit for the for ProgPower. We have spoken to two entities that one of them is hopefully going to get back to Hudson, but he still hasn't received their proposal. And Charles, you can speak to the second entity.
Yeah, of course. So originally there were kind of two parts of the protocol audit that we kind of had in place. First was the benchmarking that was going to be done in its entirety by Whiteblock, but they are at a kind of standoff with their current grant, so they reposted that. Hopefully that will bring some money in. But additionally, there has been a lot of benchmarking for performance with the community, and we have all those resources together and monitoring them. As for the full audit, there will be a proposal sent to me from another entity, and William and I had been coordinating with them by the end of the week, so we can review that then and hopefully move forward. But it will be completely up to the audit kind of proposal, and we'll kind of coordinate all together with that.
Okay. The just with regards to that, the white block audit is for the hardware itself, and they've had issues with getting funding for that.
Yeah, exactly.
The feedback from the community was that it was a little confusing. Is the updates to their bounty to reflect that White Block will be doing work and therefore they're seeking funding?
Yeah, so they updated their
what is
GitHub grant funding.
Okay, that's Getter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm losing a little bit of connection here, but essentially they updated their Gitcoin grant for the specific use case of the audit with more detail, so the community wouldn't be confused by it, and that hopefully it will clarify some things and funding will come in a little more so than it was before. The trend just posted in the chat.
Okay.
I have a question.
Thanks, Trent.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, go for it, Trent.
Are they actively seeking out funders, or it's sort of like a post it and hopefully it'll get enough press or get enough people talking about it that they will come to them?
So they need a specific amount of money to complete all of the specific testing in their proposal. And I would say they're actively looking for funding and they necessarily need it for it. So I mean, if it comes through the Gitcoin grant, that's the ideal case. But otherwise, they could use other ways of getting this money, and we're open to suggestions.
Okay. And maybe I just posted the wrong link, but this is actually like a monthly recurring funding. I don't know if this is specific to the ProgPow stuff. Oh, it does have some, yeah, in the description it does say testing, but it's a little strange that for a one-off audit, they have a recurring funding grant.
I think they're probably going to need to, if this is not the Gitcoin grant for this, we might need some clarification around why they are seeking an ongoing funding for testing if this is a once-off. Agree
Okay.
with you. I'll try and track down the other Gitcoin grant if there is one, and try and post that in the notes, just for clarification. Okay. Second, or the next item on the agenda in terms of ProgPower is issue number 11 that has been raised by the community, just with regards to seeing if there was any way in which the ProgPower audit could be completed before, I guess, being put into the ERPs and then being put into the next hard fork, Istanbul.
And one thing my team and I were talking about is whether it's possible to have the EAP be sort of conditional on the audit. So I think someone put a pull request to update the sort of parameters that would be used. So would it be possible to just have an EAP in and then and have all the specifications so that client teams can implement it, and that worst case, if the audit comes with like a big, huge red flag in it, we can pull that EAP out before Istanbul, but assuming that everything goes well, we've already done the work of implementing it, and the audit is just sort of a validation afterwards.
Yep. I think it's probably something we could propose to the core devs. Do you feel that's possible, Lane?
Dependent upon the audit, was that the point, or did I miss something in between there?
Yeah, yeah. Could we schedule ProgPal for Istanbul, for example, assuming the audit doesn't like reveal a huge red flag?
Time-wise, yes. So we're the last time frame I saw is that there will be a hard deadline on EIPs being complete and approved sometime in May. I think it's sort of mid-May. So if that EIP is solid by then and people are comfortable with it and nothing, the audit has not revealed anything and the audit is far enough along, then I think it's possible at this point.
Sure. I guess what I meant is, could we have that EAP be there even if we don't know the outcome of the audit yet, right? Where it's like, here's an EAP, we'd want to do all these changes, and there's like a thorough audit in progress, but the specification that clients would implement is already kind of done, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't think that the EIP process is, oh boy. I don't think that's specified in like EIP 1, for example. So I think that's something that would have to probably be brought up on the next all core devs call.
Okay, makes sense.
Could we do that, Lane? I propose that as a question.
Yes. So the way to do that would be to add that as an agenda item for the next all core devs call. I think that issue is open on the Ethereum /PM repo. So if one of you guys would like to do that, I can kind of maybe add a comment or something.
I can add the comment, but I can't edit the agenda. So I'll tag you on it, Lane.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Lane. The next item on the agenda is the hard fork coordination. So with the leaving of Afri from the coordination team, we've been left with a bit of a vacuum. A couple of people have approached Hudson to be the new coordinator. I'm not sure if one has been selected or not, or if there's a process for voting on that or not. But what the Ethereum cat herders are doing in the background is trying to, I guess, get the cogs moving and the wheels moving a little bit, along with Joseph, who's one of the candidates, or at least throwing his hat into the ring for coordinator position. There's a few from the cat herders that have also said, listen, let's just help with trying to draw up a schedule, trying to draw up the tasks, trying to get, I guess, the wheels moving for the next fork, which is Istanbul, and then obviously trying to set up the processes so that future forks can follow the same process and it becomes a little bit easier, and we can diversify the roles and responsibilities, I guess. For that, at the moment, there's a call set up for tomorrow with the Ethereum cat herders that have volunteered to try and help and assist in this process. Lane, do you know any further with regards to the hard fork coordination role?
Not a whole lot. What I heard Hudson say a few days ago was something to the effect of, kind of as you said, several people have reached out and expressed interest in the role. I'm aware of 3 or 4 candidates. I'd rather not list specific names right now because I don't know if that list is final. I don't know sort of where Hudson's at in the process of, speaking to these folks. My understanding is that it's likely to be more than one person. And so in that respect, kind of, we may be mischaracterizing or misrepresenting it by saying that it's only going to be one person. I think Afri was a bit of a special case for various reasons. He was kind of already doing a lot of this work previously. Boris Mann, who's been fairly hands-on and active with Istanbul stuff, has pointed out that while he's happy to help out with a lot of the coordination side of things, he thinks there should be someone on the technical side as well. So anyway, I think it may be more than one person, and I think we should probably wait for Hudson to chime in with where he's at in the process.
That's fine. Cool. Moving on. Next one is just an update on the action items from the Constantinople post-mortem. This is when we delayed the Constantinople. Do you have any update on that, Pooja? You were looking to set up a Telegram group last we spoke.
Yeah, I already had set up the Telegram group, but Hudson and Charles was on travel for most of the time. So we not, we don't have much updates on that particular item.
Okay. Moving on. We were looking at Moloch DAO and also talking about Aragon. The Ethereum cat herders are using Aragon to, I guess, trial some governance within the system. I know that some good work has been done by Chris. Is Chris on the call? Chris is not on the call. And a few of us have gone and I guess joined the DAO, the Aragon DAO. There was some discussion that you, Hugo, along with Joseph, were going to potentially look at what Moloch was looking to do and seeing if there was any synergies with ourselves and potentially Moloch going forward, especially around the idea of the Ethereum Foundation not funding and looking after everything going forward in the future. Have you done anything further on that, Hugo?
No, I'm sorry to say that we haven't. So I would have to reach out to Joseph and see where we are at. So hopefully I will update you on that for the next call.
Okay. The next one, community outreach. We put out the article on the Ethereum cat herders and how we were founded and what we're hoping to achieve and so on. There does appear to be a lot of positive, I guess, feedback from that. There seems to be a lot of people wanting to drive the process forward, which is great. We also had Hudson give a talk at ETHCC on Ethereum cat herders. And again, that seems to have been received well by some in some quarters, and perhaps some concern in other quarters, just with regards to what this means for centralization and management and so on around Ethereum. But in general, trying to get that message out that we are trying to build a generalized platform for managing Ethereum going forward in a decentralized fashion, trying to use the principles of project management in that. I'll also be giving a talk at EdCon coming up in April, so probably try and share a little bit of the Ethereum cat herder love when I'm in Sydney. Is there any other? Puja continues to be the weekly updates. Anything else that you guys might have feedback-wise?
About the community outreach you were saying, Brett?
Yes, from the community outreach perspective.
I think I would like to discuss something which I see there is in the agenda is any other business process flow of cat herders and all. So I would like to go ahead and explain it in that section. So let's move on.
Cool, that's great. Lane? That was going to be a private call, from my understanding.
It's not meant to be a completely decision-making call. It's more of organizing new processes and tools for future hard forks and just putting them in place, as well as other metrics to gauge and different ways to outreach. It was more just kind of a casual chat to get things going.
Absolutely right. It's really our first time as the cat herders to, I guess, think about what needs to be done and who we need to reach out to and what processes need to be formalized. It's more around getting the Ethereum cat herders head around hard fork coordination more than anything else. I hope that clarifies that. Okay. Moving on to the next item. The updates on the Ethereum development portal design structures. I know that was something you were working on, Charles.
Sorry, can you repeat that? You cut out.
The updates on the Ethereum development portal designs and structure.
Yeah, so I've organized all the structure of it in terms of content and the way we want to categorize it between general documentation of different teams and tutorial ideas. And I mean, it would be cool to have some sort of like Ethereum JS playground remix. But anyway, there's some ideas going. And then the design should be done by in the next couple of days. I've just been playing around on my design software, figuring out. I have built some portals in the past, so there's a lot of things I can translate over in terms of the framework. But yeah, it's going.
Okay. And do you need any feedback or assistance from anyone in the team, or just wait until we receive something?
Yeah, so I'll send something over and I'll talk about what we want and what we like. And other than that, it'd be great if one of the cat herders who has some full stack background can work with me on it.
Okay. Moving on to the any other business section of the agenda. We have issue 12, which is yourself. You wanted to speak to that, Puja, just with regards to this was raised by the community, just trying to understand the process flow of the cat herders. They've basically called out and said, listen, we love the initiative. Can we actually understand how the hell we can actually do something to get involved? There seems to a lot of conflicting sites and information, and can we at least draw some lines in the sand?
Yeah, I would like to discuss this. I mean, this is just my proposal, what I have been thinking about the cat herders, how it should look like. We are basically the team of project managers here trying to manage and help out with the management skill to the core developer teams of Ethereum. I was going through one of the this blockchain PM jobs published by Chris, and there I find this very interesting thing about the PM value recognition stages in crypto. So according to him, it's like, I mean, I was going through the stages. I'll just read out the stages, not the description. According to him, stage 0, we don't need a PM. Stage 1, we might need a PM. Stage 2, one of our developer can do PM work part-time. Stage 3, okay, developer splitting time during work. Stage 4, now we have a PM. Stage 5, PM making our lives harder. Stage 6, PM making our lives easier. I believe that we are into stage 4, where now we have a PM for this Ethereum blockchain community. So I am proposing to kind of giving a shape to the cat herders, I mean, like the process flow things as we discussed. I think that despite being its second largest decentralized project, it would be helpful if we follow some of the best practices of traditional project management, and documentation is one of those. So I propose to document everything maybe on ECH GitHub or in an Excel sheet. I will share the link of Excel sheet in chat. Until we decide to go ahead with any specific project management tool, we can probably use this sheet that may contain folders or tabs like team members, tasks, bounties, contacts, action item that we get through Ethereum core, all core dev channel meetings, and other things just like Lane have shared a recent sheet of ECH multisig account. We can also have some donation things, timesheets, and the other day Alexi was talking about the reviewers, which may be required for EIP. I think we can make a pool of EIP auditors that might be helpful, that may be coming up to us as an action item in future. I was there in the call, so I recall that and I have added it. Just give me a second, I will share the link so that you guys can have a look through it. Okay, moving on, I have a plan to involve community as well, because this is a decentralized project management group, and we must involve community. However, my recommendation is to publish the task among the ECH core group, because it is a pool of experienced project manager with different skills, and we are located into different locations. So we are capable of handling challenges, but for any reason, technical or bandwidth issue, we may need more support. We must invite community to chip in. And for that, what I believe we need to do is publish the task in ECH group channel, GitHub, Reddit, Twitter, or website. We can add the details, what needs to be done there. If we have a specific timeline, we can make it like, okay, fine, we must mention that. And if there is any bounty reward for finishing up the job, we can add that. I think we usually have seen bounties most of the time involves around the software development, the coding part of the task. For example, I'm taking the ProgPaw. As you know, for record, I'm not the member of ProgPaw subcommittee, and I'm not involved in the coordination of this task. But I'm just taking this as an example. We have a bounty for Andrea's work. Of course, his contribution is commendable. But I have not seen any bounty for coordination group or any other non-development task, even though we all agree that coordination and other non-development tasks, so-called project management work, is important to finish the job, but most of the time we must rewarding the non-development team behind the scene. So I think that if we want to reward the community for that, the more hands will be coming up. I understand most of our community is willing to volunteer, but I don't see any harm in rewarding their contribution, given we have enough fund for that. And about this publishing of task, I think one of the ECH member, or maybe Hudson or Lane, who are the founders of this group here, may facilitate that until someone among us can take up on this job. I'm talking all these things in regards to the issue that we have received in our Ethereum ECH. I think the number is issue 12. Yeah. And the third thing I want to mention, third and the last thing, is the benefit that we can get out of these is I hope that this will clear out the clouds of confusion around who are the cat herders, whom we should reach out for that particular task, what are the roles and responsibilities of individual thing. When we receive a question in the community, we feel that, okay, fine, we should answer, but nobody is, I'm not sure, forgive me my wordings if I'm making any mistake on that. I'm not saying nobody, but most of us might think that, okay, fine, if I answer this, whether it is right or wrong. So if we have a spot where we have answers available, we neither need to get confused. Community will have a clear clarification of what we are saying, and that will reduce the duplicate information. This will be transparent, and I hope the community will like it. So I would like to have your suggestions on the Excel sheet I have shared with the group. So if you guys can let me know, I'm open for all kind of suggestion how we can improve it and what we can do to make it better. So this is from my side in regards to how we can make our group more coordinated, how we can sync together, we be in the same page, so that if any question is there, we should be able to answer it in a better way. Any suggestions? Yeah, sure. I'm not saying that we should go ahead with the Excel sheet. We can probably make different folders as the different tabs. I have mentioned it over there. There may be something which may be for internal usage only. We can grant some limited access for the people who are there to edit that sheet. But that is just a rough draft that I have made it for you guys to have a look at.
Does everyone see the sheet that Pooja shared here?
I'm trying to open it at the moment.
Just to be clear, there's only a single sheet there, right? Because on my screen, the links, like the contents are all coming up as if they were links, but I can't click on them. So I want to make.
No, there's there's like 10 workbooks here. It depends what app you're using to open it. It opened up on Numbers on my Mac, and I can see all the workbooks linked at the top.
Oh, okay, I got them. Thanks.
If you guys suggest, I can split it into different things, like one for the just introduction kind of, another for the finances, and another for internal usage only. Like in traditional project management team, we used to do it with the help of Share Portal or anything, but we have GitHub now, and the transparency is required here. So this I leave that on the group. I have not added any sensitive information. Like I have made the tab for that contacts, but I have not added it yet. But it is complete.
The link is already public, by the way, right? You put it on GitHub.
Yeah, I have not added this thing. Like any sensitive information is not there, which is not already in the public.
Yeah.
Sure.
Personally, I think this is a great initiative, Pooja. I think being able to, I guess, have a central source of information for people to understand how we're operating, rather than some mythical bunch of creatures living in an ivory tower. That we are simply members of the community, and having the mechanism of allowing people to see exactly what's going on and how things are going on, where to contact people, who to be talking talking to with regards to certain things, how to request funding for specific things that they think might be relevant and beneficial for moving Ethereum forward and being related to project management. I think absolutely we probably need to look at seeing if there's a way of somehow incorporating this that we have here, either directly via GitHub and having GitHub pages, or I'm reluctant to leave it as a spreadsheet because spreadsheets tend to get corrupted. Putting it on our website somehow, but then it involves maintenance to make it as easy as possible to manage, I guess, as well at the same time.
I was just going to ask if we have to rethink a little bit our website and make an effort to update it, because it's very simple, but there's a huge room for improvement. So maybe this is a good reason to start doing some work on it again.
Agreed, Hugo.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is just the basic outline I have tried to make out of it. I mean, like any changes, any suggestions, those are more than welcome. I'm not saying that we should go ahead with the Excel sheet only on the website as you guys suggested, or maybe on the GitHub, whatever, wherever you guys say.
Yeah, I think what you've started with, Pooja, is perfect. I mean, it allows us to at least throw information together, and from that we can build a better tool if there is one, or at least talk to each other and try and figure out how to make things a little bit easier so that we can track the process for everybody in the community.
Absolutely, and I don't think we need to make a decision right away. So, I mean, just you guys can have a look and we can come back with the opinion and say.
Yep, beautiful. Is there anything else that people, sorry, carry on, Bridger?
Yeah, Lynn, would you want to say anything about it?
Lenny, there, buddy? Pooja, just wanted to know if you had any feedback on our spreadsheet.
On the spreadsheet, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think as a group of professional project managers, we should be, one of the roles of a project manager is to organize information. I think this is a great first step. I think we need to get our own house in order before we can, claim to kind of help get the ecosystem in order. I think some of the sheets here are more useful than others. I think like kind of timesheet, in my personal opinion, is not as valuable, but obviously donations and multi-sig accounting are really important. Contacts is really important. I don't know that the spreadsheet is the right format for all of this, as I think you mentioned, right? I think that like the PM multi-sig is kind of its own spreadsheet. Contact information should probably be a separate document that we probably don't want to have public. But no, in general, I think this is fantastic, great initiative, and yeah, we should totally make as much public as possible and link it from the website.
Agreed.
Thanks.
Awesome. But I'll try and have a look at it over the week, Pooja. I think there's a lot of good stuff that we can add to this. Okay. Moving on to the next item. Now, this was dropped a little while back, but it just was with regards to the handbook or guidelines for the community. I know I saw it in GitHub, and someone created it. Is anyone able to speak to this agenda item?
Yeah, I think this was requested by by someone, Sneg55 here on GitHub, right? And then this PR number 13 just came through. I posted the link a moment ago.
Yep.
From Luke Schoen, I believe. But I don't think either of those people are on the call. I'll just ping them and see if they want to jump on and speak to it. Otherwise, maybe we could quickly look at that PR together.
Yep. So I'm assuming the handbook and the guideline is separate to the code of conduct within the community.
Yeah, I believe Luke's PR is more detailing kind of a structure for the group, having specific rules and coordinating between them and pushing it more efficiently. If I'm incorrect, please let me know.
It seems to relate very strongly back to the cat herder process, I guess, that we already spoken to. I guess, are we talking the same language, just different terms? We're talking to the same topic. No one. Okay, we'll probably try and get some clarification from Luke during the next couple of weeks, and we can try and bring that into, if we need to, into the discussion in the next meeting, or if it is something like we've already spoken to with regards to issue 12, which was the I guess the process specifically to the management around how to get involved with the cat herders and what to do, etc., then perhaps we've already covered the topic.
So Luke just piped up in YouTube. He said, it's just a general structure of a management plan, and I've just tried to apply it to cat herders, but it'll need heavy review. So I think that's probably the right approach. Let's do that over the next couple of weeks and maybe go through it on the next call. Up to you guys.
Sounds good. Okay.
If
moving on.
required, I can also. I'm sorry. Yeah, if required, I can also prepare kind of document a presentation kind of thing. How we can get involved, but maybe we can take that up after we are decided on the process, like this documentation thing. We can also come up with some kind of presentation how we can involve community in.
Sounds good. Okay. The next item is the Ethereum website. Elaine, do you have any more information on that? I know we spoke about it last time. Is there any hint of a possibility that we may be able to improve the Ethereum website via the cat herders?
Yeah, so Hudson and I met with a few stakeholders in Paris. That's the good news. We met the developer team that's actually working on it. What can I say? The process is still an internal, the current status is that it's still internal at the Ethereum Foundation, and there's one or two people there that are kind of owning that internally. It is supposed to be opened up very, very soon, and I don't know exactly what opened up means. My hope is that it's, everything we've done so far is on GitHub. The whole community can see it and contribute to it and, propose changes and make PRs and things like that. I'm not sure if the open up part means internal to the foundation or, or public. I certainly hope it's the latter. We are waiting. So the wheels are turning within the foundation, and we're waiting for more news on that in the next few days. So I guess as soon as I hear anything, I'll keep you guys in the loop. That's pretty much all the information I have. What else? So a lot of concept work has been done, as far as I can tell, on kind of like what the new, a completely reimagined, redesigned, rebuilt Ethereum.org from the ground up, right? What it should look like. Another point that was made is that rather than sort of all the content living on that website. It's the vision is that it's going to be a community portal that has links out to lots of other resources. And so I could foresee that including, in addition to ETHub and, various GitHub documents, et cetera, I think it could also, a portion of that could link to content that's managed by the cat herder. So I think that, it sounds like this is going to be a relatively open process. I think that's good news. I think we're still just waiting for the wheels to turn and for that concept, that initial phase to be done and for it to be opened up. So again, we'll keep you guys in the loop as I hear any more information.
Excellent. That's great feedback. I think the community will really appreciate the fact that there is something actually being worked on at the moment, and we will hopefully see something soon. Just quickly, a review of the action items from meeting 6, just to make sure we haven't missed out on anything. Action item number 1, Hudson to coordinate setting up bounties for and get up funding for ProgPower audit. Well, that's already been done, or at least certainly for White Block. Action item 2, William and Hudson to engage with least authority via call. I believe that's already been completed as well. Action item 3, ProgPower subcommittee to review the feedback from the stakeholders, if any, should be included in technical audit. So that is still in process. We did receive an incredible amount of good feedback from the stakeholders. And so we're just trying to, I guess, streamline that information into different sections and trying to include as much as what we were given, obviously, from the community and the stakeholders. So that's ongoing. Action item 4, Joseph to post an updated communications checklist to the ECH internal group. I don't believe Joseph has, so we might just chase him up on that because he said he had an updated communications checklist. Action item 5, the review of the Medium post by Hudson, that's already been completed. Action item 6, Chris to review the action, the work of Aragon Dow for ECH funding management. Obviously, he's already gone and put it into production now. So I guess the next step now is simply voting on funds. At the moment, there's no funds within the DAO, but I'm assuming that he'll be working with yourself later down the track to do that. So that's, I'm assuming, is still ongoing. Action item 7, Hugo and Joseph to work on the Moloch DAO, so that is ongoing. And action item 8, setting up the Telegram group for Constantinople delay action items. That's already been done by Puja, so we're complete there. I think that's all that I have on the agenda. Is there anything else that people wanted to bring up? No. Okay. Nick, sorry, was that someone? Sorry. No. Okay. Next meeting will be the 26th of March, 2 weeks time. Same time, 2 o'clock UTC. I think that's it, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
Thank you.